नवम श्रेणी पिलामाने आज आम पढ़ा तुमर इंग्रेजी बहीर द मैजिक फ्लूट सेक्शन 1. Now answer the following questions. Question number 1. What was the name of the boy? Why was he going to the village? Answer. The Sukumar was the name of the boy. He was going to the village hoping to get shelter for a night. Sorila. Next, number 2. Number 2. Why did he play the flute? Answer. He played the flute because he was filled with the memories of the mother. He thought he would be able to meet her in his heart by playing the flute. Next. Question number 3. Who was the middle-aged woman? When she met Sukumar, how did both of them feel? Answer. The middle-aged woman was the wife of the village headman. When she listened to the boy's tone, she stopped. They looked at each other and both of them felt that they had always known each other. Next, number 4. What did she ask Sukumar to do? Answer. She asked Sukumar endearingly to go with her to her house. Next. Do you think Sukumar will stay in the elderly woman's house? Why not? Answer haba. Yes, Sukumar will stay in the elderly woman's house. He was touched with the way the woman called him son, so he would stay in the woman's house. Next, now answer the following questions. Section II. Question number 1. Which part of the story takes place earlier? The part in section A or the part in section B? Answer likhiba. The part in section B takes place earlier in the story. It tells about Sukumar's past life. Next. Number 2. Sukumar had lost his mother as a child. He wanted to know where she was. What did his father tell him? Answer. His father told him that his mother lived in the house of the gods. He added that although she was far beyond the sky, she was with them in their hearts. Next, number 3. Why did Sukumar want his father to make a flute for him? Answer. Sukumar wanted his father to make a flute for him so that he would know she was with him. Then he played it. Next number ko jiba. Number 4. What happened when Sukumar lost his father? Why do you think he left his home? Answer. When Sukumar lost his father, he felt sad and lost hopes. He might have felt lonely and missed his parents, so he left his home. Next 5 number. Who was Shayapatri? How did the middle-aged woman introduce Sukumar to her? Answer. Shayapatri was the middle-aged woman's daughter. She introduced Sukumar to her as her brother. Next number 6. How did Sukumar feel in Shayapatri's house? Why? Answer. In Shayapatri's house, Sukumar felt quite happy because he was treated as Shayapatri's brother and a member of the family. Number 7. Sukumar wanted to leave the next morning. What happened? Answer. Shayapatri's mother stopped him, saying that they were mother and son and she would not let him leave his home. So Sukumar stayed with the family. Next number. Section 3. Now answer the following questions. Section 3 data. Number 1. What reason did Sukumar give Shayapatri for being sad? Answer. The reason Sukumar gave Shayapatri for being sad was that he did not have the love of Shayapatri's father and that he had not yet won his heart. Number 2. How did he plan to win Shayapatri's father's heart? Answer. Sukumar planned to win Shayapatri's father's heart by playing his flute. Next. Number 3. Why did Shayapatri's father not like Sukumar? Answer. Shayapatri's father did not like Sukumar because he was an orphan and was not dependable. Next. Number 4. What do you think Sukumar will do now? Answer. We think Sukumar will leave Shayapatri's house now. Tabre section 4. Question number 1. Why did Sukumar leave Shayapatri's house? Answer. Sukumar took every effort to win Shayapatri's love, but he failed in his attempt. He gave up and decided to leave the house. Number 2. Why did Sukumar feel sad in the temple? Answer. Sukumar felt sad in the temple because he felt that by leaving Shayapatri and her mother, he had once again lost his family. Next. Number 3. Why did Sukumar decide to return to Shayapatri's house? Answer. Sukumar decided to return to Shayapatri's house because in his dream he saw Shayapatri standing in front of him asking him to follow her. Number 4. When Sukumar entered the house, what did he see? Answer. When Sukumar entered the house, he saw Shayapatri lying on her mother's lap in a coma. Next number. Number 5. According to her mother, what was wrong with Shayapatri? Answer. According to her mother, the day when Sukumar left the house, Shayapatri had high fever. She had been in a coma-like state. She thought that Shayapatri's spirit left her body and gone off in search of Sukumar. Next number. Number 6. What did Sukumar do when he heard Shayapatri's mother? What happened to Shayapatri then? Answer. When Shayapatri's mother told Sukumar her daughter's illness, Sukumar felt sad. He then took out his flute and started playing quietly. Sukumar's flute had magical effect, for it made Shayapatri wake from her state of coma. Number 7. Shayapatri's father did something unexpected. What was it? Answer. Sukumar's flute created magic and Shayapatri became conscious. Shayapatri's father was moved with the whole situation and had tears in his eyes. He used Sukumar and told that he was his son and he would never leave him. Next number. Number 8. Do you think this is a happy story or a sad story? Why? Answer. We think it is a happy story ends with the happy reunion of Sukumar and the members of his foster parents' family. Tapre next number 9. Why is the story entitled The Magic Flute? How was the flute magical? Answer. A musical instrument had powerful effect on Shayapatri. When Shayapatri was seriously ill, it was because of Sukumar's flute that she was back to normal, and in this way the flute was magical, for it wrought unbelievable effect. Won the girl, nothing cured the girl but only the flute. Next number. E. Let's write. Write the answer to the following questions in about 50 words. 50 words शब्द भितरे. Number 1. Why and how did Sukumar learn to play the flute? Answer. Sukumar lost his mother at a very young age of 5. After the death of his mother, his father would play his own flute every evening before going to bed. Once he asked his father where his mother was. Then his mother lived with the gods. Though his mother was far beyond the sky, she lived in his heart. Then he asked if he will ever meet her mother, to which his father said that by playing flute she will be seen in his heart. After that, Sukumar's father made flute for him and taught him to play. Next number. Number 2. How did he come to Shayapatri's house? Answer. After the death of his father, Sukumar felt alone and left the house. He reached a village and started playing his flute. It was then a middle-aged woman who was the wife of the village headman got attracted to the music to the flute. When they both looked at each other, they felt that they had known each other since long. The woman then got to know that he was searching for a shelter for that night. Then the woman requested and invited him to her house. When he went with the woman, she introduced Sukumar with her daughter, telling that he was her brother. Next number. Number 3. Why did Shayapatri's father not want Sukumar in his house? Answer. Shayapatri's father was not happy at the decision of Sukumar staying at his place. His wife insisted him, but he was indifferent towards Sukumar. He was of the opinion that orphans were not reliable and had bad influence. He had wrong belief that Sukumar would have wrong influence on Shayapatri, so he did not like him and wanted him in his house. Next number. Number 4. Why did Sukumar go back to Shayapatri's house? Answer. Sukumar took every possible effort to win love of Shayapatri's father, but he was not able to succeed. He gave up and left the house quietly. He went on the mountain summit and took shelter in a goddess temple. Shayapatri appeared in his dream and asked him to follow her. The dream Sukumar had deep effect on him, and then he decided to go back to Shayapatri's house. तापरे नंबर 5 How did Shayapatri recover? Answer. When Sukumar reached Shayapatri's house, he saw many sad faces outside the house. When he entered the house, he saw Shayapatri lay on her mother's lap and was seriously ill. Shayapatri's mother told him that she had been in a condition of coma since the day he left the house. She thought that her spirit had left her body and went to search Sukumar. Sukumar then took out his flute and played quietly. His music had magical and powerful impact that it made Shayapatri get back to normal. It was because of Sukumar and his flute that Shayapatri got recovered. Next number को जिबा activity. The following is the summary of the story, but there are 8 mistakes in the summary. Underline the mistake, rewrite the summary after correcting the mistakes. रे summary mistake अछि ताकू हमें ठीक करके लिखिबा. First में mistake underline करिबा. एटी देखो सुकुमार was one orphan who was 11 years old. His mother अछि एटी हबो his father had made a flute. Mistake अछि underline कर दियो for him and he played it very well. One day he came to a village and the headman's wife, एटी कोन हबो headman's daughter अछि wife हबो, took him to her house. She introduced him to her son, एटी son जगह daughter हबो Shayapatri. But Sukumar was sad because Shayapatri's mother no father habo. Father did not love him. So one day he left their house and went to live in a shrine on a mountain. One night he had a dream. He saw Shayapatri's mother अछि Shayapatri हबो खाली. एटी Shayapatri's mother no खाली माने only Shayapatri's calling him. He went back to Shayapatri's. He found that Shayapatri's no एटी खाली s हबनी. Shayapatri mother was Shayapatri mother अछि underline कर दियो. एटी Shayapatri was very sick. He played his flute and slowly she opened her eyes. तापरे Shayapatri used the Shayapatri's father. Shayapatri अछि एटी Shayapatri's father used him and the story ended happily. एठी देखो करेक्ट समरी रे मु लिखि देछि सब देखि के लिखि नियो. सब देखि के लिखि नियो ठीक करी के हला. तो थैंक्स फॉर वाचिंग. पिला माने चैनल को जदि नुआ आछो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करि नियो, लाइक कमेंट एंड शेयर. ता सहित मो चैनल रे देखिबो दीटा चैनल मु ऐड कर देछि. जीके बाय देवु सर चैनल को मध्य सब्सक्राइब करनियो. सेथिरे तुम माने जीके सब पाइबो. आ मोर सेकंड चैनल को मध्य सब्सक्राइब करिनियो.